Welcome to Florida Jeep Rides. We are at Tosahatchee Wildlife Management Area, and today we're going to put a little test because we just got our blue Jeep back from Jeepers Den, and they did a repair on the back differential, changing the track lock gear system. Randy is driving the green Jeep, Emma and Alfonso driving the Wanderer. Tosohatchee is a car-friendly wildlife management area, with the exception of when there's heavy rains and it can get flooded out. Out at Tosahatchee, there is places that you can park and hike. At the end of one of these roads are some trails, and a lot of them have walkways over the water. Right now, we're walking over a creek. And if you're walking from one mark, you normally can see the next mark. And from this mark, you can see the next mark. The same thing goes the other way. So there's a mark there and a mark there. Helps you from getting lost. Now, there are ticks out here and yellow flies, so make sure that you have bug spray. Watch where you're walking. Those are cottonmouths, and I have seen multiple pygmy rattlesnakes out here as well. This
You've seen better days.
Yeah, it has. Is he gonna be okay through here?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oops. I heard just. It's better over here, puppy.
Yes, see it.
One of the things that they had did out here when they took over the land is they resisted the temptation to allow lumber companies to come in and pull out all the trees. So the old growth lumber is still out here growing, and it leaves the environment what Florida's natural environment has looked like all along. Find my way around. This is labeled as Beehead Road. Beehead Ranch is down that way. This just looks like a grassy river. This portion of Fishhole Road, when it has like really heavy rains, the creeks all overflow their banks. And as long as you stay in the middle of the road, you're fine. But here's a little footage of what it looks like when it's flooded out. Tusahatchee's Day to the Trails. It's a little damp, so the dust factor is down. Some of the smaller, less maintained roads have a few puddles here and there. The ditches have water flowing in them with that nice tannic iced tea looking water. And right now, this weekend, it is beautiful. and gorgeous. When the creek overflows, that gauge will tell you how deep the water is here where the creek goes under the road. I have seen it at the 3 feet level, but usually there's a current moving across it, and I'm kind of reluctant to go through it because I'm thinking perhaps the road is washed out. This is the actual creek. We're on our way to St. John's River down this road where we can take a look at one of the few northward flowing rivers. It's long since been a source of food and farming, and the Indians used to live on its banks back in the 1700s. This whole area was designated as a place to preserve the natural Florida. Let's go in and take a look at what it looks like in the swamp. In Florida, we have cypress trees, and they have a root system that has what's called cypress knees, and these help support the trees. It is kind of like a upside down cathedral. Sometime around 1837, 2 years into the Second Seminole War, General Thomas Jessup went to a Cherokee delegation to meet the Seminole leaders to try to persuade them to surrender. The meeting was supposed to take place at Chicken Creek on the west bank of the St. John's River. The Seminole name for the meeting location was Tosohatchee, apparently a corruption of Tusahatchee, also called Foul Town or Powell's Creek. The two tribes met further south at Tusahatchee, present-day Taylor Creek, and the Cherokee chief met Seminole Chief Micanopy and unsuccessfully urged the Seminoles to accept removal to Oklahoma. The following month, the Seminoles came to Jessup's camp to negotiate. General Jessup had Micanopy and 3 other chiefs plus 78 warriors seized under a flag of truce. The government's duplicity is the reason that the Seminoles never did agree to surrender. So the edge of this little creek has plecostomus, some people call them plecos, that are algae eaters, and they're embedding themselves into the side walls of this. Mosquitoes are in here. Make sure you have bug spray. Well, the day started off really good as far as temperature wise, but man, it's starting to get hot, so I had to take off that outer shirt. If you're into fishing, Lake Charlie's a good place for you. If you're into snakes, there's a snake crossing the road in front of me. Judging by the shape, I'd say it was a black racer. If fishing is your thing, then Welcome to Lake Charlie. It was born when they made the beach line. They took out a lot of the dirt to make overpasses, and what that did is they cut it a little obscure, making natural looking lakes and ponds that are out here. Lake Charlie is one of those, and it's got bluegills, largemouth bass, speckled perch, brown bullhead catfish. When you see all the vegetation coming down the shore of a lake, and then you see an area where there's little to no vegetation right up to the edge, that's what I call a gator slide, because the gator will come out here to sun, and then when it gets startled, it slides down in there. It also could be a place where a deer would come to drink, and there could be a gator sitting underneath there waiting for some animal that has easy access to the water. Gators are ambush predators. They'll sit and wait until something comes along and gets within reach, and when they bite down, you ain't getting out. This part of the loop that takes you back to Powerline Road is marked on the map as sandy road right now. It's pretty well packed, but if it's been dry, it's probably sandy. If it rains a lot, it can be a little bit muddy, and there can be some water holes in it. Like the water levels are kind of high in the flood basin. Usually there's plenty of gators in these ditches on the side of Powerline Road. Might be tucked under. The road that leads to the little wooden bridges is closed where the bridges are. So if you tried to come in that way to get to the bridges, it's closed, and then this way it's closed from one parking lot to another parking lot. So this is parking lot number 11, or parking area number 11, and it's closed all the way to the bridges. I don't think I've been out here since the hurricanes. I'll have to double check, but they might have done some damage. Did you get to see that in big gators?
Yes, we did.
That one looks like it's missing a leg. I don't know if it's...
I didn't see that.
It's the big one on the shore right over there. But it might just be tucked under, I don't know. The bigger ones don't move. They're like,
No.
I'm not... You ain't no threat to me.
Right?
See ya.
See ya.
This is a soft shell. And what a lot of people don't know about the soft shell is that it can actually reach its neck around halfway to the back of its shell. So picking these up could get you bit, and they do bite pretty hard. So if by chance you're ever going to help them across the road, you want to pick them up by the back of their shell and then move them in the same direction that they're moving. At the far eastern end of Powerline Road is the St. Johns River. It also happens to be a good place to launch a small boat or to do a little fishing. Any luck?
How are you?
Está bien. ¿Y vos?
Muy bien, gracias.
Mucho pescados. Pescados is a gator. Grande.
Yeah, but here in this area you see a large.
Lot of gators.
Yeah.
See. Catch it.
Next me, today stay one by 10 feet.
10 feet.
Yeah.
12, 11.
Yeah.
Es grande está aquí. Lo otro es ahí. So when you get out here to where the river is, the gators get bigger. Right up here in front of me, I know the wind is blowing, in front of me is probably a 10 to 11 footer. When I was growing up in Florida, gators were on the threatened endangered species list. Endangered originally, then they got moved to threatened, then protected, still protected. But we used to think nothing of swimming around in these places. Go to the creek and make a rope swing. Nowadays, I don't think I'd want to go swimming out here for fear of gators like that one. You don't got to run faster than the gator.
So what you have to do?
You just got to run faster than me.
Ah! Yeah, you're in front of me. That's true. It looks so different. It's just
What it is just
more water.
Look, it's a shoestring snake. Sometimes in Florida, you can find crocs. We do have crocodiles in Florida, and they are migrating further and further north. It's called American crocodile. They used to be only found down in the Everglades, but they seem to be moving on up. So now that we've made our way all the way down to St. John's, it's time to turn around. It used to be that you could come down here and do the loop and go back across the bridges. I'll see if I can find out why the bridges are closed. If the bridges were damaged. If you've been out here after Hurricane Ian and you know anything about the bridges, please comment below and let us know what happened to the little trestle bridges at Tosahatchee. There are designated parking areas out here. If you're going to stop and look and walk around, you usually want to be at a parking area. I have stopped near the wooden bridges to film people going across them, and a ranger told me that I'm not allowed to park on the road. Designated parking area. It's a ribbon snake, pretty common. But I'm gonna get this one out of the road before the vehicles behind us run it over.
I thought it was big.
So I had to get off the road pretty quick back there. I ran into another Jeeper. I didn't get to video him. Randy videoed. All right, Randy got the video because we had all these cars behind us and I just stopped for that snake. And so I figured I'd pull over here and address that. Glad to see you out here. I wish we would have had a time to talk a little bit, but Randy got a video there, so thank you, Randy. Well, that concludes our day at Tusahatchee. We came in about 1 o'clock. Right now it's a little after 5 o'clock, so we spent approximately 4 hours in here.
It went fast.
With the bridges being closed, instead of making a loop, you get to see everything twice. So the bridges are closed. Just keep that in mind. Probably from hurricane damage. We saw some snakes. We saw some gators. We saw plenty of birds. We saw a dead otter. It's been overall a pretty good day.
Yes.
We took our time. If you were coming out here and you were going to spend some time fishing, make sure you have a fishing license, and then you can spend even more time. And probably earlier in the morning is better. They do close usually at dusk. The gate does open if you get pinned in here, but there is a sign-in station right behind us. That's where you sign in. That's where you pay your fee. You can have an annual permit. If you are a disabled veteran, you get in free. There are pockets of water throughout. Don't splash the road debris out of the way. It is wet for any place that you're going to hike. So if you're going to do some hiking, Have some water shoes or water boots.
Yes.
Bugs are out.
Yes.
It is summertime. It will be getting hotter and hotter and more hotter as it goes on. We haven't been here since before Hurricane Ian. So come on out. Have a great time. Bring your fishing pole. Bring something to eat. Bring some water and enjoy. Come out early in the morning. Come out later in the afternoon. In the heat of the day, you won't see as much because the animals know to get off into the shade. We'll see you next ride. Bye. I'm Matt.
Alfonso.
Emma.
Randy.
Let's try that again.
Oops.
I'm Matt.
Alfonso.
Emma.
Randy.
You did not get wrong.
And you. I'm Matt.
Alfonso.
Emma.
And I'm Randy.
And you just been on a Florida Jeep ride at Tosahatchee. Oh, wait.
Oops.
State of the trail? What's the state of the trail?
Well,
A little
dry and humid in some
humid.
places.
A lot of water.
A lot of water or
Yes,
water
sir.
hole, little water park
Little
shape?
water park.
We say
Yeah.
a lot of water, but not like when it's flooded, a lot of
Not on
water.
the road. Not on the road.
Mud puddles. Some mud puddles.
Mud puddles. Well,
A lot of
Not to play
vegetation.
with, but
let's try that again. Estado el Trailo.
Ah, no.
Say it, state of the trail.
Estado del trail. I don't know how to say trail in English, in Spanish.
I don't either.
I say trail in Spanish porque es el estado, pero trail.
Camino.
Del camino.